Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer. Say, when you die, what's the last part of your body to start working? Your pupils. They dilate. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Rear Window from Funko Games. Hello, everybody. We'll get back to the review in just a second. I just want to take a moment to ask you to go ahead and check out and subscribe to my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about military history and books on history and fun things like that. Please check that out. Please subscribe. And now, back to the review. In Rear Window from Funko Games, 3 to 5 characters enter the world of Alfred Hitchcock's iconic film as they attempt to solve a murder or just figure out who's doing what. Now, one player will take on the role of Alfred Hitchcock, the director, and he is going to kind of guide the story, as it were, while the other characters, the other players rather, take on the role of the Watchers. Now, the Watchers are going to try to take clues from the director over the course of the game and hopefully find out what everybody is doing, and there might be a murder in there somewhere. Now, both the director and the Watchers are going to have their own player screen. Now, this player screen is necessary because there is hidden information in this game. Now, what's going to happen is the players, the Watchers, are going to look at a number of traits. They're going to grab out, I think, 12 different kind of traits, and these traits each have 5 kind of trait tokens. So they've got these stacks of 5 trait tokens each. They're each going to get a character. I think there are 8 characters. They're going to grab each of the 8 characters. They're going to grab those stacks as well, but they're only going to have 4 of them because the director will have 1 of them each as well. So what's going to happen is the Watchers then are going to take 1 of those trait tokens and from each of the stacks, and then they're going to add in a murder token. They're going to shuffle them. They're going to hand them to the director. The director then is going to go ahead and he is going to draw randomly 4 of those tokens. He's going to put the rest in a little box called the trunk. He's going to put it in the trunk along with any characters he's not using. Then what he's going to do is he's going to put those traits out on his little director's board there in an A, B, C, and D section. Now he's going to go ahead and place these traits out there, and then he's going to select which characters he's going to use for each trait. And then, as I say, those other characters are going to go in the trunk along with the discarded trait tokens. So after the solution board is ready with the characters and the traits where he wants them, he goes ahead and he draws 8 window cards. Now there are 4 boards out there. You flip the first one over so that you can see 8 windows. That's 2 windows per apartment. A, B, C, and D. Well, the director then, he's looking at his solution board and he's looking at his hand of cards. And he is going to go ahead and he is going to put out the cards that he wants them to see. Now these cards have different images on them, different colors, things that are associated with the different characters. So he's trying to get them to guess who is in that apartment and what their trait is. So he's trying to get them to guess these things from these very obscure cards. So he's laying them down there. Now, generally speaking, that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get the other players to find out what is in each of these apartments, what people and what trait are in each of those apartments. However, if he drew the murder, and there's a murder in one of those apartments, then things get a little dicey. More on that later. So assuming the director is trying to get everybody to guess everything correctly, he places all the cards out there, and then the Watchers are going to go ahead and they're going to consult themselves, and they're going to try to figure out, based on those cards, who is in what apartment and what their trait is. So they go ahead and they do this, and they do have some Watcher cards, some special cards they can use. Now, these Watcher cards, they are the different characters from the film, and they are one-time use cards. But they essentially can say take a pointer, and the director has to point to the most important thing in a particular card to kind of tip them off. Or they can look back at one of the things they put out, and the director has to say yes or no, that is correct. But there's different things that you can play, but again, they're only one-time use. Now, the director, for his part, he has the option of putting 2 of those cards, the window cards, face down, which means nothing looks good, nothing looks helpful. I'm not going to try to throw people off by putting just a card out there, so he places the card face down so they won't get on the wrong track. Now, he can only do that with 2 of those. But the director also has 3 cut tokens. He can go ahead and discard one to discard any number of cards and redraw his hand. Now, once the watchers have it all figured out and they have placed a trait and a character on each of the windows, they can go ahead and say, okay, that's what we think happened. The director then consults the solution card. He sees how many of those things he got right. Out of those 8 things, people and traits, how many did they get right? And he puts a cube to mark how many they got right. So they know, okay, we got some of them right, but they don't know which ones they got right. You then proceed to the second day, flip over that board, leaving the first board there so the watchers can still consult it, but now we go in, we do the same thing with the next day. On the 4th turn, again, assuming the director wants them to learn everything, you have to get all 8 correct by the last day, by the 4th day, in order to win the game. And everybody wins. The director wins, the watchers wins, everybody's happy. Now, if there was a murder, the director wins if the watchers guess 6 or 7 of the items correctly, but they do not guess the murder. Conversely, the watchers win if they can guess 7 or 8 of the items and one of them was the murder. I should point out, too, there's also kind of a variation here where you can actually put out these purple traits, where you're going to put 2 people on there. So it makes the game a little bit more difficult because you have to guess who 2 people are. So players go back and forth. The director attempts to put out that information there with the cards or maybe throw them off if there's a murder. The watchers are attempting to guess. They are, of course, playing their special watcher cards in order to help them. And if they've met their victory conditions, then they win. Rear Window. Who knew we needed a game based on Rear Window? I'll tell you right now, this game is fantastic. Had so much fun with this game. Just getting that out there right now. Super fun game. If you like Mysterium, it's very similar to Mysterium. It's more similar, I think, to Obscurio, because Obscurio has that kind of hidden traitor element to it. And here with the murder element in this game, there's almost that, but it's coming from the person giving the clues, which is interesting. I got to play this once more, but this may have killed Obscurio for me. I was never a huge fan of Mysterium, but I really liked Obscurio. This may have killed Obscurio for me. We'll see. But this game is so smart and so clever, and you wouldn't think it works as easy as it does. I remember reading the rules thinking, this is going to be real clunky because they're not on the same page. You don't know if there's a murder or not, and that's exactly what makes this game awesome. It's what sets this game apart from a game like Mysterium, right? So it's really, really good. It's fun because, again, it's hard if you're the director because you can't say anything and you can't give anything away. You just play, and you want to so bad. I was playing this game with Kim and her daughter just was like, let me say something. We're like, no, you can't say anything. You can't say anything. But you really want to. You want to help people and you can't, and it's really super fun. So we played this game. This is game 2. We played it. We broke it out. We said, "How?" And I requested this game from Funko Games because Kim, she really likes old movies. She likes Jimmy Stewart. So I thought this would be fun for her. I was thinking, okay, whatever, we'll try it. I mean, it's Prospero Hall, so I was thinking it's probably going to be a good game because I love Prospero Hall. But I mean, the theme itself, and I liked the movie, but it just didn't thrill me. But we went ahead, we played the game. And I was thinking we played this, and then maybe we play another game. I think I brought Tiny Towns or something. I think we played that. But we went ahead, we played this, and as soon as we finished, it's like, let's play it again, let's play it again. We switched roles, we played it again. Let's play it again, we switched roles, played it. And we kept playing it because it was so much fun. It's a great, there's almost a party game, social deduction element to it, but not quite. I mean, it's like I say, there's different, it takes aspects of different games, but it arranges them in such a way that it makes it's unique. It feels very unique for what it does. And again, it is super easy to learn and to play. This is a very easy game to learn and to play. I was amazed at how smooth this game out of the box plays. Now, I will say, I think this is because there is kind of almost a party game element. This is a game where I think you need the right kind of people. You need people that are genuinely interested and excited and invested in the game. This is not a game. This is not a heavy strategy game. It's almost kind of a game of bluff and double bluff, but it's also a game of just kind of what you're trying to communicate in very abstract ways. But we had a ball with this game. Really, really like Rear Window. And again, who knew we needed this game? Can't recommend it enough. 100%. Buy it. Buy it. Buy it. Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We'd ask you to please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. I'd also ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to please check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about military history and books on history and fun things like that. Please check it out, please subscribe, and we'd ask you to please give a thumb to this video on Board Game Geek. That helps us out a lot as well. Ladies and gentlemen, before the invention of the crowbar, all of the crows had to drink at home.
Please somebody help me on my feet again, and I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band.
And now, a mummy dancing.